All right, top 11 managers. Let's talk about training. Here we go, guys. This is one of my players that I got at the end of last season. And we've got some low grays and we've got whites that are ready to be trained easily. So we're going to start off training by focusing on white skills only. We're not going to train any gray skills. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to get in and we're going to need to compare his white and gray skills. There you see that shooting at 1%. That's pretty exciting for me. We're gonna train. So we're gonna go to training and select players, and we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna go click on or pick. We can grab a screenshot. Maybe if you can use another phone, or if you're using an iPad or a computer or whatever, grab a picture of his skills, and then we're just gonna go and we're gonna look at these training drills, and we're gonna look for a drill that has only white skills affected. You can see I've grayed out the ones that are gray for ORPIC, so we're not gonna use those. So we're gonna go to the next screen, and we're gonna look for a drill that has got only white skills being trained for this particular player. And on this screen we've got one, the slalom dribble. You can see it's affecting only white skills for this player. So what I really want you to see here is that a player with low white skills, when you train only white skills, these skills are going to increase rapidly. This is a medium fast trainer. So you're going to see, I think, 5 and 6% at a time here, which is nice when you start training and you're using valuable resources to get big percent increases. On my fast trainers, what I believe is fast trainers, I'm seeing 8 and 9% at the beginning of training them. What are you guys seeing? What you guys that have been playing for a while? How many percent do you see it on one set of drills? I've seen, like I said, 9 with hard or very hard drills. I haven't seen 10 yet, so I'm imagining that exists though. But if you guys don't know, when you start, go ahead and you can click the screen or a button or whatever, and you can skip through that training screen if you don't. Hello, hola Rato. Here is one of my players that I've been working on training already. She's got high heading, but we're going to go ahead and focus on 3 of these other skills they're higher skills. She is a fast trainer. What I want you to see essentially from this is that as these white skills start to get higher, it's going to become more and more difficult to train. So they will increase. And here you see no increase there. Yeah, so it just drives me crazy. I don't like seeing the no percentage increases. I'm spending these green packs that I've been saving up. So there's 2%. She's still going to train, and what she's going to do is she's going to train up to a certain threshold, guys. And you'll notice as those skills get higher and higher, you're going to see less and less return on your gains. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at an example of a player. My best player. I'm proud of this player, but trust me, I realize it's not that excellent. These skills, one is 156 and the others are both over 200. So these are high skills. And what you're going to see is no matter how many times we train these, even though they're white skills, they're never going to increase because they are over a certain threshold. And that's a mathematical thing that you guys can see and you can get much deeper into. But what I'm illustrating here is the 180% rule. I'm not going to waste any more greens, but once your average of all of your skills that you're trying to train, white or gray, once they get over 180% average, and in this case they were 207.3, they will not increase the skills. This is why when you go out and you buy a player that's 7 stars, 8 stars, 9 stars already, they're going to have all skills that are the same, and you're not going to be able to train them and increase them. And as they get older, they're going to continue to be difficult. So let's look at Vegan training some different skills, because it's not his overall. He can still increase his skills, but let's just use a different set of skills. And now we can see that his skills are around 140. 140% is another threshold that you should be aware of, just because it starts to get harder and harder to see the increase in gains. So we use those white skills to increase the player as far as we can, and eventually we get to a point where we can't increase them any farther with just white skills. So we start to incorporate those gray skills to push the player further and further up. But what's important to notice here is that we need to focus on those white skills first and keep those gray skills as low as we can, because then we can keep training this player long term. And it's going to cost less and less green packs to keep this player trained compared to a player that's got high gray skills. Okay? So just showing you here. Vegan, my favorite player, my best player, he's not an extremely well-trained player at all, but I sure did spend some green packs here to show you guys. This is how it works. This is how I trained my players up. I focused heavily on those white skills, and as soon as I couldn't move them anymore, I started using those gray skills to move them. And that was my mistake, was that I used those gray skills too early, and I got my players to a point where they're mediocre in their white skills, so they're not super standout players. So I'm not going to beat players that are 25 or 30% higher overall team percentage. I mean, it's just not going to happen because I don't have those excellent players. But this is gonna serve as an example for you as how to train your players. And you just notice, I mean, I'm always training my players one at a time like this, working on getting superstars trained properly. This is a booster lab that I got at the end of last season. The worst mistake that I've made. Just look at them. You can't train them. There's no power skills here. Though, is a player that I've had from the beginning that I am extremely happy with. At 141%, he's got great skills right now. I've been playing him at defensive right back. So to me, he's a player that is surprising other teams, and he's one of the ones that's making a difference, and other teams don't recognize that he's the one making a difference. Next season, those skills are going to be back, and I'm going to be able to train him back up again at 21. And he's not going anywhere. I'm going to have him on my team for a while. So hopefully this helps you get an idea of how to start training your players. Really appreciate you guys watching. Please hit that subscribe and like button. And I hope you enjoy the videos.